rain on you. I can make it rain on you. I can make your dreams come true. I can make your dreams come true.
Forgot to change the intro video, but it's okay. Welcome to Press Pass Live. What's up, everybody? I'm your commish, the host, Nate. With me, we got four of my buddies. We got Maniac, we got Randy, we got Trey, and soon to be Big Hurt. He is not officially here, but he is on his way. Fellas, how we doing on a Monday afternoon?
Sweet. Well, doing fantastic.
I don't know if it's still considered Monday afternoon, since it is 9:30 at night for me and probably way later than that for y'all. But it is Monday afternoon in my head, so we're just going to roll with that. Fellas, we're jumping right into it. We're going to do our 2-minute drill, doing something a little bit different tonight. We're going to use our Neon Sports page, something I'll probably try to do a little bit more often. We're very thankful for our partners over at Neon Sports. Some good fellers over there. Let's look at some games from these past couple weeks. We're going to look at weeks 14, 15, and 16 as soon as I can figure out how to look at this thing. This menu always messes me up. Here we go. We got the Arizona Cardinals and Joker beating Crazy Bees Man 31-14. Kobe loses to Little Koch 24-30. Nipples with a 23-20 victory over Penguins. Logan with a 45-28 victory over Fleury. Massimo with a big win over Meek Boy. I'm not sure if that game was actually played or not. But
that is not played.
Well, there you go. That one was not played. I figured that score looked a little weird. D-Wayne, a 27-17 victory over Bronco, man. That was a good game there for the Colts, but those Cowboys, man, they're in the regular season. They can be tough to deal with. The Packers and Priest fall to Colin 49-28. The Jaguars and Nicesonger with a 20-19 victory over Jay Glaze. Maniac falls to Cincyberg, but in a close one, 31-24. Birdman falls to Denver. That one I'm pretty sure wasn't played. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
It was played in some format.
There you go, 30-17. Tim with a 31-27 victory over Twinkie and the Eagles. We got the 49ers falling to J-Bows and the Raiders 33-31. My Saints come away with a 27-14 victory over Luka and the Kansas City Chiefs. And then finally, to wrap up week number 14, we got Big Hurt with a 17-13 victory over Bill. Guys, we're just going to open it up. I need you guys to be amazing human beings that you are and just talk. What surprised you or caught your attention here in week number 14 as we are coming to a close?
All right, who's playing the rock, paper, scissors game to go first?
We never cease to amaze.
All right, fine. I'll take the range here. But what's going to catch my eye is coming off the absolutely spanking that I received. Nate keeps up his momentum, gets a 27-14 victory over Luca, keeps the passing game rolling effectively with 334 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is always good coming from Nate, because we know Nate, he gets on himself about it enough times that he throws a lot of interceptions that he regrets. The run game, ineffective for Nate this game, but still had enough offense with the receiving game, and his giant receiver named Oliver, who he just find the ball for 8 catches for 147 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, he has questionable stat lines, given no sacks and only 1 interception, but you kept him to 2 touchdowns. That's pretty impressive if you're getting that kind of stat line from a defense. And all in all, just keep the momentum rolling after, the game I don't want to ever talk about.
This was a really good one. Luke and I had a good time in this one. It was one of those weird games where it seemed a lot closer than it felt whenever you were playing it. Guys, what about you? What caught your attention here in week number 14?
I'll talk about the Chargers and Falcons game. First, real quick, the game against Dwayne that I did not play was a CPU game.
There you go. That's right. You were still on the cruise.
Yeah, I only missed 2 games, surprisingly, so that was pretty good timing. But Chargers Falcons, I just want to give Logan some flowers. He's had a bit of a slow start. He lost to Jay Glaze early. He lost to myself early, but he's tied for the first seed with the Colts and the Bengals right now. Had a pretty dominating offensive performance against the Falcons, putting up 492 yards. And Fleury knows defense. He's a good defensive player. He had no turnovers on the day, it looks like. So the game like that, efficient offense, 325 yards on 79% completion is pretty outrageous. So I wanted to give Logan some flowers.
Logan's playing really good football right now, so that was a big-time win and something he keeps up here as we talk about in weeks 15 and 16. Mr. Maniac, you're the last man standing right now.
Yeah, so I kind of like sometimes I like seeing high-scoring games, other times I like to see defensive games, and the game we're going to talk about is the Vikings and the G-Man here, 17-13 game. This one was close. I know Bills had his struggles, just like a lot of us have this season, but he has kept a lot of big-time games close, and this is one where, the Vikings are positioning themselves to be the top wild card spot right now in the NFC, so to hang tough with the Vikings in this game was a phenomenal job for the Bill and the Giants. The one stat that kind of did stick out to me that I think that I've heard Bill talk about in the chat is Givens, his quarterback. He did have 3 interceptions. He has kind of struggled with the passing the ball this season. And I think a lot of guys have had trouble just getting timing down and stuff. I think that's what been like some of the discussions. But you have to hand it to the Big Hurt, though. He's been playing really well with his rookie back as well going into this season. So definitely, this definitely was a good game, though. And probably if anybody tuned in, it was one of those games that was back and forth defensively, and just whoever made the most mistakes was the one that got the loss here. And of course, that was the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants, I feel like, outplayed him in a lot of different ways, passing the ball. It's just the turnovers that ended up getting Bill. And well, that's been a lot of our problem as we get through this entire Madden cycle. Let's take a look at week number 15. We got Mr. Kevin beating Crazy B-Man 21-10. Penguins bounces back in the second week after week 14 here in week 15 with a 30-14 victory over Massimo. I think Massimo might be out, so maybe that was a CPU game or not played game. Not 100% sure.
It was played.
There you go. This is the thing about using Neon Sports and not having the league up like I normally do. I could tell you if those games were played. We got Mr. Lost Sniper with a 34-28 victory against the No Limit Soldiers and the 49ers. Mr. Jay Glaze. This is what happens when I have these small screens. These old 45-year-old eyes can barely see this. But Jay Glaze and the Broncos, they 17-14 victory over Flurry. Mr. Bronco Man with a 38-26 victory over Luca. Tim with another big victory here, 21-13. I got to watch just a few minutes of this while I was out on a walk. Maniac, you were right there, but man, you just I felt the energy shift, I felt the mood shift, and it just kind of got away from me there at the very end. Joker with a 49-21 victory over Meat Boy. Trey, was that played?
Yes.
There you go. Colin with a 49-27 victory over Mr. Trey. Nipples 34, Mr. Cincyberg 16. Big time victory for Nipples. We got Big Hurt bouncing back this week with a 26-20 victory over Roger and the Texans. Logan
Pause real
continued.
fast. Don't give Nipples the credit just yet. That game was completely absent.
Ah, well, there you go. I think I remember that now. Logan actually dominated me. This game was much closer score-wise than it was in person as you watched it. I couldn't tackle. I couldn't stop him. I had no answers, but he wins 30-23 to almost completely squash the Saints' postseason hopes. Kobe with a 41-27 victory over Nicehunger. Pretty sure that game was not played. It might have been played, but I don't think it was. Twinkie with a 13-10 victory over Priest and the Green Bay Packers. The Dallas Cowboys and Dwayne continue to stay red hot against Little Koch, 31-28. The Panthers with a 38-7 victory over the Raiders. And then finally, Denbrew with a 23-20 victory over Mr. Bill and those New York Giants. Guys, what caught your eye here in week number 15?
Then I'd have to say Dallas and Cincy. Little Koch has definitely been playing a lot better this season. He's putting things together, and I played him, I think like week 10 or something like that. Played him pretty close, but his offense is just chugging. He's got Mr. Josh Dunkin' Donuts, the quarterback. This guy he's hard to bring down, and I guess that's probably like one of the only kind of cool things about like the bigger, heavier quarterback. He actually was kind of hard to bring down, so it was kind of true to real life. And you see, like, he just stands tall in the pocket and he delivers the pass, and he's got an arm. He's got an arm on him like crazy. But he had 3 touchdowns here with Duncan. Did throw an interception, was sacked twice. Dwayne, he's kind of got this no-name, nobody, Jack Faber or whatever, and he's doing well with him too. But I just really wanted to focus on Little Koch because he's just kind of, I guess, kind of came out of the shadows from this season. He's kind of struggled, and now all of a sudden he put it together last season. He's putting a really nice season together, pushing towards the playoffs, and got himself in position to get into the playoffs. But wasn't a whole lot of running from the Bengals in this game. Bruce Allen, his running back, 10 carries, 13 yards. That is one thing about the Cowboys. They make you one-dimensional. It's either they take away the pass or they take away the run. In this game, he took away the run, but Little Koch still was able to get good passing attack going with his wide receivers. His wide receiver number 8, Ivory, 4 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. He seems to pull these guys from ever draft, and he gets, I don't know if you say he's lucky, but man, he definitely does his homework, and he's built a great team. So I'm excited to see what he does in the playoffs.
I'll go ahead and talk about the Browns and Giants, I think it's pretty indicative of how good of a player Denbrew is. He had a tough start to the season. I know he missed a couple games because he had some work trip or something where he didn't have his console on him. But I mean, he's clawed his way back, and he had a big win against Bill and the Giants. So I know he's struggling, but he's a very capable, very good player. No turnovers from the Giants, so that didn't hurt him like it did last week. The Browns had one turnover, but I know that the Denver pulled away late on a late field goal. I think his time expired to win the game, so it was a really, really good battle, and Denver's kept himself alive. I think he's the first team out as of right now, but there's a couple weeks left.
I guess that goes off to me. And in this one, it's going to be a negative and a positive all in the same aspect. Because I want to give Nicehunger a round of applause. Because, yes, you took a loss, but there is, as much as I love Kobe, I got to call him out. There is dear. But props to Nicehunger. I didn't hear a word of this until actually just looking at the stats. Kobe, we got some stuff to work on. You know, you did well. You won the game. But your main running back, 10 carries. Your only other carries is 1-2 from your quarterback. Very skeptical. Receiving wise, a wide receiver on your team caught 5 passes. 6 passes. You have a tight end and a running back at 6 and 5 catches. Come on, my man. You've been here enough. You should know these things. Respect you. You got your win, but let's get the FPR back in track, because seeing that made me go excited to talk about this to disappointed.
I couldn't tell if we lost you or not. We lost you last time, and so I was like, "Oh, I don't want to talk if he's going to be right back." That was the more I looked at those stats, I don't know, and neither do you, because you can see it was played. Like, it feels like that might have been a CPU game, but who knows? Either way, that was kind of some weird stats in that game. All right, let's take a look at week number 16, the week that we are currently in. So only a handful of games still played right now. This is the one, I'm going to go ahead and circle it. We all are thinking it. We all know it in our heart of hearts. Mr. D-Money, he did let me know that he does watch the show. I don't know if he watches every week, but he definitely watched last week. D-Money, come on, brother. I love you. There's no way that you're not tanking. I love Crazy, but Crazy's retiring because he can't keep up in this league because his body won't allow him, and you lost 24-21. You're clearly tanking. Like, it is very, very evident. But anyway, congrats to Crazy B, man. He deserves as many wins as he can get his hands on. Lost Sniper with a 44-21 victory over Penguins. Did we know if that was played? I mean, there's no way it wasn't played, right?
I'm not too sure. It says it's played, so.
Yeah,
it was played. I was actually watching it.
Congratulations to Lost Sniper. That's a big-time victory for him. Trey beats on the Lions, and Tim, thank you so much, Trey. 26-16. Chicago did get a CPU game in this one, 45-6. Birdman is out on vacation. Maniac with a 28-14 victory over Nicehunger. Denbrew with a 21-17 victory over Massimo. I'm starting to think maybe Massimo's out, and maybe that one wasn't a real human game. Not 100% sure on that one. Roger with a 31-10 victory over Bill and his Giants. Bronco Man and the Colts with a 38-14 victory over Priest. And that is going to wrap up the games that we have here in week number 16. Maniac, what caught your eye? I'm just going to start calling on the first one. After that, y'all got to have something ready to go.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about the Patriots and Steelers. I know, talking about the AFC East, my brother over here, Lost Sniper, he is... really, I mean, the Patriots, they did him no favors, and EA did him no favors to start this cycle off, and he's done a tremendous job to build this team, brought in the import quarterback, and he's just built a solid roster, and he's competed really well. He's absolutely had a couple games that just did not go for him. But I mean, you look at it. Look at this game though, and Rusty Starr, four touchdowns, 213 yards passing. He's only sacked once, 66% completion percentage. And then Trevor Lawrence, he actually lost the turnover battle here. He had 3 interceptions thrown. That is one thing, like it seemed like a lost sniper, and I think he'll probably attest to this. It seems like one game his defense won't play up to par. I mean, he's got a couple of cornerbacks that would D-Money would probably drool over, but just sometimes they don't play like it. But this game, it looked like they were on target, playing the way they were supposed to, making the plays, and definitely making it more difficult for the Steelers here. I'm really Penguins has kind of had an up and down Madden this cycle as well. He gets things going, looks like he gets a team put together, and it just kind of falls apart on him late in the season. And I don't know if that's kind of what we're watching here, making things interesting for the last wild card spot, obviously. But man, you got to give Loss some credit. He's probably only had 1, maybe 2 winning seasons, but he brings his A game every game. And this was one thing I told him the last game we played. And no, I'm not trying to bring slight to anybody else, but every time I play him, I know it's going to be a legit fair play rule game, no question about it. And we always have a great conversation afterwards, after our games, no matter who wins or who loses. And he's just a great owner here.
You guys ever play the game Two Truths and a Lie? We're going to play 2 lies and a truth. Big Hurt said he was going to be here tonight, still not here. And Maniac said, I'm sick. I'm not going to go very long. But my guy is getting it out of him. He's starting to get the energy here in the OMFL. We'll do that to you. And the truth is that Nate said that Titans game was probably a CPU, and Nicehunger did say in the chat it was a CPU. Randy, what caught your eye here in week number 16?
I'll go ahead and talk about the Detroit Bowl, the battle for Ford Field, I guess.
Trey only wishes.
Oh no, I still own my parking spot there.
It should have been the game the winner gets them in Madden 26.
That would be interesting.
I remember when that happened in the toilet bowl game. Tim was like, "No way!" I'm like, I don't blame you. But,
and then I proceeded to beat him with a hooker.
yeah, no, I think it's
Love you, Tim, but
it's always fun watching you two play because there's not like animosity is not the word I would use, but like you both like the same team, you both love the Lions. I just think it's fun to watch, and you both leave it all out there when you play. And I think it's a big win for you, keeping yourself alive if things go perfect for you. But you haven't had quite the season you wanted. But I think if you stick with the Commanders, you'll you got a solid squad to build around. But I mean, only 1 turnover on the day. When you win the turnover battle, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win the game. So capitalize there. Good win.
Well, I already told my talking point because I was about to talk confidently with myself after having been outscored.
There's no taking somebody's
27
point.
My last 2 games.
You just go. If you want to talk about the same point, you just put it on.
No, definitely it was me knowing Tim. I had previous experience. It's the Jameson Williams deep ball that always beats me, and I got sticky this game around. I very much was using my corner every time I thought a deep ball was coming, and I locked down Jameson for a majority of that game, and where it really didn't matter if I locked him down enough. The game was pretty much over. It was just ineffective. My offensive line sucked as per usual, but Garvin was able to power through as well as a few passes I needed to Nakua and Cruz to help seal off the game. But Tim's proved why he's up there holding off that last wildcard spot from you and me, Nate, as we run into the final few weeks here.
Yeah, speaking of coming into the final 2 weeks here, I'm trying to see if, again, do a ton of neon sports here, but I think this should be able to do it. We're going to go conference here. Let's talk playoff predictions. I'm going to go by Bill. I feel like Bill puts in a lot of work to get these right. We're going to start with the AFC first and then work our way over to the NFC. The number 1 seed is still up in the air. We got Colts, Bengals, Chargers, the top 3 seeds in the AFC all sitting. Well, Colts are 12-3 because they already played this week. But Bengals 11-3, Chargers are at 11-3. The number 4 seed are the Jets at 8-6. The number 1 wild card, the Texans at 10-5. Number 2 wild card, Nipple and his Ravens at 9-5. And then the last one right now is Penguins and the Steelers at 9-6. Browns sitting at 9-6, still have a chance. Patriots at 9-6 or 7-8. I'm sorry, still have a chance. Raiders and Titans, technically because of their division races, are still in it at 6-8. Fellas, I present to you who is in the
Raiders,
AFC.
They're out from the division race. Chargers
Oh, there you go.
division.
So the Raiders are technically out now. So we got Browns, Patriots, Titans technically still in it. Texans, Ravens, Steelers, and I think the Jets are in it, still kind of fighting to wrap things up. So who's in and who's out in the AFC?
I would love to say that we know the entirety of it. If I say that, that means as much as I want that to happen, I'm too competitive to let it happen willingly. So, assuming that the teacher can find a way to beat his student again, I'm going to say that the Browns sneak in over the Steelers.
Ooh.
Because I'm going to hope that, I can rightfully rate my ship to the playoffs somehow, even though I don't want to. We'll go that way. But other than that, we're keeping the rest of the teams in.
I'm going to sign this division right here because I think I called this one at the very beginning when other people did not. I said the AFC North was going to be a tremendously fun division, and you can see it here: 11-3, 9-5, 9-6, 9-6. This one's going to come down to the very end, and one of these teams probably are not going to make the playoffs.
It's interesting when I look at in that division, like the Steelers and Browns, they swept the head-to-head. Or I mean, they split the head-to-head. The Ravens and Browns also split the head-to-head. With Pittsburgh and the Ravens, it was a split again. So it comes down then to I think the division total record in which it's still a little bit up in the air because there's one matchup left between the Bengals and Browns next week. So that'll kind of help decide things a little bit. As we sit right now, I'm leaning towards it staying, not necessarily the standing staying the same, but the team staying the same, just because with the way Lil Koch has been playing, I wouldn't necessarily bet that Denver would win the next game, but I wouldn't put it past him. But just the way this season's trending, I would put money on Lil Koch. So I would say that the teams will stay the same.
I'm with you. I think what you say, and then Maniac, I want you to go. I think exactly what we see of what I just called out and Bill has is going to be who's making it. I think Denver I think him and Lost have both just missed too many games. I think the Titans are out, Raiders are out, as Trey's already pointed out. And so I think how you see it is how it's going to play out. And man, there are going to be some really good teams in the AFC that aren't going to make it this year. Maniac.
Yeah, I was going to say it would be kind of interesting to see all 4 teams make it to the playoffs. There's like a slim chance, but I know they're probably going to play against each other, so it's probably they're going to knock one of them out. I definitely think your Steelers and your Browns are the kind of like the teetering teams here. I think the Browns are a little bit on more uptrend than the Steelers are currently. I think the Ravens are another team that you got to watch out. I don't see the Patriots, Raiders, or Titans. I know they're still technically alive, but I don't see them making it in. But that last spot is pretty intriguing to see what's going to happen. And again, I'm so proud to see Roger there, like the number one wild card. If he can keep things going, he's going to hold that down. But yeah, this Ravens, Steelers, Browns, all three of those teams right there. There could be a lot of jumping and leapfrogging and dropping out from those three. It just all depends on how the next couple games go. But it's going to be interesting for sure.
Is that even mathematically possible that all four teams from a division can technically make it in?
So the Roger plays me next week. That's about was a 50-50 game, me and him. And then the week after that, I think he plays Kobe. So if Kobe's playing, I mean, I don't really know what's going on with him. I know there's some stuff, but so Roger could technically lose out, and if he finished 10-7 and the Browns won out and the Steelers won out, then it would technically be possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but I mean, mathematically there's a chance.
I don't know that we've ever seen that happen here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's look at the NFC. We got the Cowboys at 13-1. I think they have the number one seed completely sewed up. The number 2 seed is the Seahawks at 11-3. The Bears are still fighting him. He's in the number 3 seed at 11-4. Panthers technically here at the number 4 seed at 11-4, but he is out on vacation, and so we'll have to see how that one's going to play out. Vikings at 10-4, Cardinals at 9-5, and then currently the Lions sit as the last wild card at 9-6. My Saints are still in it at 8-6. Trey and his Commanders are still in it at 7-8. I'm pretty sure the Falcons are done at 6-8. So, guys, who gets in from the NFC?
So, just to hold you up here, Nate. No, D-Wayne has not locked up the number 1 seed. However, if he wins this week, he can.
Yeah, I know technically he's still in it. But
if the Seahawks win and win another one, and Mr. Wayne somehow manages to, which if I'm wanting to make the playoffs, I have to make that happen. Seahawks could jump in the first place.
Yeah, I'm just going to write it here on the screen. Number 1, the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's over.
The confidence. I've got an upward battle. I've opened Pandora's box by winning against the Lions. There's some foolish tricks because you lost to the Lions, I lost to you, Lions lost to me. Pandora's box opened. If I went out, you only managed to win 1 game of your next 3, and Tim managed to lose his all games. So Pandora's box is opened. I'm just going to stick with the fact that I'm probably not going to make it because I need a lot of things. But I have a feeling that I'm going to steal that final spot from Tim because I think Tim got a harsh dose of reality. Can't rely on Jameson Williams.
I would agree. Looking at the tiebreakers and who's played who in the remaining schedule, I would actually predict that the Lions and the Saints make it, but the Cardinals miss it. So the Cardinals play Big Hurt, and they also then the week after that they play Seattle and Meek Boy. He could win both of those games, but if I was betting, I would bet on the other 2 teams. And while Nate could lose 2 of his last 3 games, I think he's going to win at least 2 of his last 3 games against the Broncos and the Rams. And you have the tiebreaker over Joker. So that you being 1 game back, that would put you tied. You have the tiebreaker. So I would keep the Lions in, and then the Saints slide into the 7. And the Cardinals fall out at 8.
Yeah, that's kind of what that was what I was looking at. The team that I was kind of thinking had the better chance to get knocked out was the Cardinals, just for simple fact the next 2 games. Now, he did just beat the Seahawks 49-20. Yeah, 49-21. So
he's got 3 games to play, so he just needs to win one of those.
Mm-hmm. But Big Hurt, Big Hurt is like one of those guys again that'll play down and dirty football. I'm not saying like breaks rules, but he just like he'll grind out that game against you and make you earn everything that you got to get, and more than not, he's going to make you make mistakes. And I think we're probably going to see that one possibly be a toss-up for a loss. And also the fact that I know I don't have home field advantage on, but sometimes I still think games at home for certain guys just tend to play differently. They're in their own situation. The Seahawks, again, he just lost. He's going to be looking for kind of like a little bit of maybe revenge, at home. And so that could be two they could possibly lose. So I'm thinking that that's what's going to happen. It may not. He may win out. He may go 3-0. We know the Buccaneers are probably either going to be a game that he plays a CPU or something along that line. But just see the Cardinals be the one that could possibly fall out. The Lions could as well. But to me, just I don't know. Something tells me that the Cardinals might be the one that misses out this go round. And that opens up for the Saints to sneak in into the wild card.
Sneak in? I've been busting that door down for weeks now.
Sneak.
I've been trying my tail off over here. Big Hurt. This is what we're going to do for Big Hurt. We're going to get a red X here. We're going to just get one of these right here. Yeah, my guy just. I know he said he had some things going on, but like. We're just gonna red X him. He's online. It shows he's online, but he's not saying anything or doing anything right now. Let's go ahead and open up the mailbag, fellas. We're gonna keep it on trucking. Remember, I'm gonna pick a winner at the end here and just award a winner here to have 1 minute to say and do whatever they want. Mr. Beal opens us up. I love this question from Bill. It's such a Bill question. He said, should we expect some owner turnover for Madden 26 cycle? That is such a Bill question. I don't know what to expect. It depends on what day you ask me, Bill. If you would ask me over the past probably 4 months, I'd say 100%. I will openly admit, normally it is the board who keeps us from moving on from owners because guys just want to give another opportunity. I'd say probably this time I've cooled off the last couple of weeks. I think there's been some real life things that have happened to me personally that have sort of put this all in perspective for me. So I'd also say, pause, that I got a message tonight from one and only Mr. Byron of the Chargers and Panthers, who's asking for a spot back. So, you never know. You never know how this thing is going to play out. And I would say that if we do decide that either we have an owner not coming back, which you already know, Crazy B-Man said he's not going to be coming back, or we have other owners who just are not invited back, which there are definitely some people we have to at least have a discussion about. Then, Byron's going to get him a spot back. And I'd love to have Byron back. I miss having him in this league. This league is a better league overall when he is here and a more competitive league whenever he is here. And it was just good to see a message for him. So ultimately, I don't know, but with Crazy B-Man, I guess the technical answer is yes, there's at least one that will not be here. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add there. I know that question is mainly aimed at me, but I guess I could pause and see if there's any thoughts.
I just laugh at it because I see the tone that Bill is even typing that in. It just makes you laugh.
Yeah, I mean that's not really a question for anyone, but it'll be interesting to see if there is. I know I have a question to answer that will kind of related to that later on.
Well, we'll get to it. How can we, as OMFL coaches, help recruit some new blood to the OMFL. What are the best websites, forums, Discord channels to promote the OMFL on? I would say 3 years ago, this would have been a completely different answer. It is much more limited. I find a little hit and miss, but you can get some traction if you're constantly over there. That's the AA forums and their Madden channels. It's going to be just a general sort of, I'm fishing in the pond and I might get somebody to nibble. The best place used to be Daddy Leagues and their forums, and just like, again, consistently promoting on there would get some people. I'd say now it's probably Neon Sports' Discord channel. I don't know of any other Discord channels. I'm sure they're out there. I used to be in League Crawler. I finally just left because I was sick of the bots trying to post porn everywhere. And I was like, okay, I'm out of here. Twitter, anytime you can hashtag on Twitter, tag on Twitter, that's going to get some traction. What about you guys? Any help or any websites, Discord, or things that you think would be a good place to promote on?
I'll give a different type of answer for this. So for me, the best advertisement, the best sales is word of mouth. So
Yeah.
I came here because Shocks fan, most of you probably know that, but Shocks fan, the Chiefs owner, is my real life cousin. So that's how I got here. My little brother is in the Deuce. It's ex James. He was Boise State last year, and I think he's first or second on the waiting list for the OMFL. So
I think he might be first.
I think that's like.
Don't hate me. I got to give a spot to Byron though. We'll see how that all plays out, but we're gonna get James a spot here sooner or later.
No, I fully agree. Byron's a deserving spot. That wasn't the point of me saying that.
No,
I was
I know.
saying I think it's you can. I mean, I know some people might not have people that play a lot of games in their personal life, but for me, I mean, that is kind of what I trend to, because I would have never known about this place if my cousin wasn't here. I wasn't looking for an online Madden league. This is the only place I've ever played. So.
I know for me personally, YouTube is a big help.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have it in my Twitch channel that I have the grown phone link in there. So even if you're using like Twitch or YouTube, having those links, there's random people that will pop in from time to time that'll just watch your stream. If those links are there, you're helping directly funnel them towards Nate, and therefore them funneling them towards the.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. Since I've been getting more into streaming, not only just having the links there, but talking about the league as you're streaming. I know I've made several to hockey and the OMFL. I tell guys, we're playing the OMFL. It's been around 20 plus years, and we're in like season 115. And the turnover is like very limited. Come here, stick here. They stay here to play, and that usually attracts them. And I tell them, hey, look, got the links to the Discord in my bio. Check it out. Because a lot of times, if you don't like point them to it, they won't check it out. I mean, some people they'll investigate, especially if they like the channel or whatever, like what they're seeing on the channel. But a lot of guys will just they'll tune in, and say hi, and watch a couple of things, and say, "Oh, you should have run curls instead of drags," or stuff like that. But but if you start talking about the league, and a lot of those are probably going to be guys that are going well, I don't want to play that way. Fine, that's the prerogative, whatever. But there has been a few guys that we've found come across that come in for one league, and they're like, God, man, I love the watch the games. I really like how they're played, and so those can be avenues where that you can take advantage of. If you're going to be on streaming, have your voice on stream, upsell the league. I mean, I'm not saying you have to, but if you really love this place, and talk about it, express your feelings, and guys will gravitate to it. EA is another place, like you already said. I think what is the other boards where I just went blank on it. Oh goodness! I see the little bot. Everybody's always searching. Going there to see if there's like a glitch or oh
Reddit?
goodness.
Reddit.
Reddit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Reddit's another spot too that people will put up. Hey, I'm looking for a particular type of league stuff. So there's places out there. I even put the description in my station, so that was checking out the stream, checking out my profile on PlayStation. So the OMFL and the grown folks and different things like.
Bill, it is not just you. It's just about to tell Maniac. I think it is Discord on PlayStation. I think. I'm not 100% sure because Pooty and them don't seem to have that trouble. No, that's not true. That's not true. I catch myself. Bird, Pooty, Maniac, and Trey all often have trouble. And I think it is Discord on PlayStation. There's something that they don't like each other sometimes. But yeah, Maniac and Trey, Bill was asking, like, do y'all cut out for everybody or just him? And it was like, no, they cut out for everybody. It gets skippy sometimes. Sometimes poor Maniac's great all the time, and then it hits him. Pooty's the same way. It just like randomly hits. All right, that's a sidebar that I can stop chasing. Mr. Nicesonger, he says, what is the most important thing to look at when selecting your imports? This is a really good question. I think a tough question too. I always start with the Madden ratings. I want to see what is my team looking like. What do I think I can build? We all know the positions that are easy to build. Cornerback, receiver, safety, like these positions are a little easier, quicker to build than offensive linemen. A quarterback can be slow sometimes. A defensive lineman, some linebackers, unless you user them, can be slow to build. So I look at what is Madden giving me? What positions do I feel like I can work with and I can build them? And then finally, it's a cap thing. Like, where's my cap out that I'm going to be stepping into? How much of the players? That's sort of the layer I go, just kind of 3, 2, 1. And though I don't think it's a perfect science, I'm starting to lean towards like impact. Even if I have to sacrifice cap over impact, like I want impact over just cap numbers. What I'm trying to say, I don't know why I'm stuttering through this like I'm Maniac's Mike tonight, but I don't want to bring an offensive lineman because they're cheap when I can bring a more expensive superstar quarterback that I never have to worry about again. Like, bring impact players. Too many times over the last 2 Madden cycles, I bought over non-impact players who just end up making zero difference for my team and either not starting or I just let them walk when their contract's over. What about you guys?
Yeah, for me, a lot of it depends on how the team I using drafted. Because if they draft like a superstar or a couple of players from a certain position, I don't really necessarily want to bring in in that position because it's going to hamper the development, and B, it's just going to clog the cap space up in a position that I have youth in that I know I have for 4 to 5 seasons, which tends to be our usual cycle is 4 to 5 seasons. So instead of bringing something there, I'll go fill another void that the team is missing.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. I'm going to echo what you guys said a little bit, but put my own little twist on it. I think what Nate started off and said with the financial aspect, as well as kind of what Trey said, looking at the team that you have, I think you have to do a good job of like how smart is it to bring a corner over if you're, say, the Jets and you have Sauce Gardner. Not that you can have too many corners, as we've seen proven, but versus if you have a good linebacker and the Jets linebacker core is weak, what's going to make more of an impact for you right away versus are you wanting to develop guys? So I think that's something you want to weigh. So when I look at impact, I look at team fit or team need, I guess I should say. So just kind of echoing what y'all said.
And just one thing I also, the incentive queue. I know this year it got up to the overall. Normally it was like an 80 or below, I believe.
It's going to get
Now I
bumped
think
again.
Nate has it set up to a 90 below.
Yeah, it's going to get
Correct
bumped
me if I'm
again. So it's unlimited. It'll be unlimited. I think last year was unlimited 90 and 75 or maybe 80. I think this year it's
I think 80.
Yeah, I think it's going to be unlimited. Playing with 90, 92, and then 80 to 85. I think the last one's going to end up being 85.
So that plays a factor in it too, because if you have too many good guys, you can't bring them all.
Yep. And it's a money thing, right? The money becomes tough.
I have 2 guys right now who are sitting in my upgrade players that are exactly to 90 because I'm like, I don't know which one I'm going to bring, and I don't want to upgrade beyond 90. So we'll see.
I love it. I love the strategy.
Yeah, I was thinking, say, like, so for me, it's like looking at what you're getting in the next Madden. You know, they haven't released much of anything. We did get team ratings.
I do know some rookie ratings.
They were fake.
Thank you,
yeah, they weren't real.
No, these ones were.
They have the Commanders and the Broncos as bottom 5 teams.
Yeah, I think they announced that everything is sort of like not real. It's just there.
Off the beta, they're basing it off the base roster of last year's game, which that's the accurate. And the rookies just got their base 67. However, Mutt Leaks has gotten a hold of the database. We do no rookie rating.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Travis Hunter's an 84.
Was it you, Trey, the other day that sent, when we were playing NHL, the soundtrack?
Yep.
It was actually, yeah.
Yeah, Mutt Leaks has got a hold of things, and as much as I don't enjoy the fact that he data mines things and tells us weeks in advance, it's nice knowing a few things.
Maniac imports.
Well, so, yeah, I was going to say, what were we talking about again? Mutt? What are you getting the next Madden? For instance, I had to use my myself as an illustration. The plan is I'm switching teams. They did release the team ratings. You know, you're going from the Buffalo Bills that are, I think it was like 89 overall rating or something like that, 90, somewhere close like that. To the Cardinals are second to the last overall rated team. So you have to look at, like, again, like you say, your roster, your salary. Buffalo Bills salary, they're cap strapped. I mean, they made some room, but they are cap strapped. So if I say, for instance, if I stayed in the Bills, I would probably be taking either guys that I'm fixing to draft that are cheaper. Hopefully I got some hidden dev guys, fast guys. And then, but like you go to the Cardinals, from what I've kind of looked into, they have a pretty good amount of cap space. And so you might be able to get away with bringing, 2 or 3 really high impact X Factors, superstar players to that team, and be able to get around the cap. But I think it's important that you get to take guys that are either on the verge of getting or guys that do have like X Factor superstars, because we've seen those be very impactful in games. And not only that, but like you said, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, I really think a lot of those guys the first draft, you can focus on those and get the guy that you can build for the rest of that cycle. But you want to look at taking skill guys. I think skill players as far as like cornerbacks, wide receivers, extremely great tight ends. We saw Dwayne take a tight end, 2 Maddens in a row, and he just dominated with that tight end all the time. So players like that, quarterbacks, we always see guys take quarterbacks. Running backs are kind of far and few in between because, again, they're kind of like one of those players that you can draft in the first draft in the third or fourth round, and you can usually get somebody that you can build up really good if they good skills. But man, wide receivers that are fast, got good hands. Those can be, if you get a hold of one late in this Madden, you have to start thinking like, yeah, I can take him over. And even if you got, say for instance, I looked at the Cardinals, they have quite a few young cornerbacks on their team that could grow really big next Madden. But say if I had a stud cornerback that I want to take him and then trade either one of the guys that's over there, trade him, get super draft capital back for those, and start building your team, because we've all seen D Money and others do that, in that first draft, and so that way you can kind of then solidify yourself going through the rest of the cycle. You may lose that player, but hey, you're gaining draft capital back from them.
A short answers thing, that's right out the window now. He's got his energy back. That medicine is kicked in.
I had to pull Big Hurt's weight tonight.
You triggered an idea, and again, I haven't figured this out, and I've told everybody that I'm still working on it, but I may add some Devo restrictions to these imports, because the point isn't to add 3 X Factor teams to your new team. Like, that's not the point. The point is to award you for building a good team, for playing all your games, for donating, to add a little something to your team. It also adds flavor to the team, gives our league a different new identity. Like, I think it's cool when we've had the Dwayne tight ends, or the middle linebacker from the Jags that we still talk about today. Crowdus, the Trey's superstar rookies that he had, from the safety to the quarterback to the middle linebacker to the tight end to the runner.
Fullback.
It's so many. That's the point. Fullback. So anyway, I'm still chewing on it. Mr. Nicehunger asked, I think it was Nicehunger, what 9 or 10 win teams do not make the playoffs? My list is Browns, Saints, Commanders. I think that's going to be my list. Who would y'all add to that list?
Browns, Saints, Lions.
Well, if Saints don't make it and Lions don't make it, who makes it for you?
Hi.
Oh, okay.
He set himself up.
All right.
I
will say, Tim and Trey are cut from the same cloth when it comes to talking about their own team, bro.
That's why when I joined the hockey team, it was not a surprise that Trey was not only center, but he was also the leading scorer on the team. So that was not a surprise at all.
Oh,
Trey loves him some Trey.
Okay, Joy.
Randy, who would you add to that list?
For me, based on the scenarios that I kind of walked through earlier in the show, and like the standings, the tiebreakers, if it plays out how I think, I'm going to say Browns finish 10-7 and miss it, and the Cardinals finish 10-7 and miss it as well. That'd be my 2.
I don't know. I'm thinking Steelers. I think they miss it. I'm going to go ahead and go back with what I said. The Cardinals. I think those two. They seem so far this Madden, they've kind of struggled late in the seasons, and always like right to the very end trying to get in when they had the lead and stuff going into the last 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, Steelers and Cardinals I think are for me.
Cincyberg says, Trey, are you keeping the Commanders or trading them?
Why did I have that? I got to put it in the public. Yeah.
You can't lie.
You can convince me into trading them. If you can't convince us there, but if you can convince me to trade them, I'm trading them.
Cincyberg says, Do you feel
He's trading them.
do you feel like some teams try just to get to the minimum run numbers and go pass heavy after? Is there a way to fix that, or do you just have to deal with good? Wait, sorry. Or just have to deal with good with the bad type. Oh, okay, I don't know who's trying. Do you have to just deal with it, or is there a way to fix it? Is ultimately what my guy Cincy Berg is trying to say. English language is not his deal. It is just winning football games. I would say yes, 100%. People definitely find the minimums, they hit that, and then they back up. I think the other is true. I think guys here 100% abuse the tight end on the first drive of the game to score a touchdown. Some guys with really good tight ends abuse them in the first half and then back off. Some guys will abuse the tight end, the fullback, the running back, the first drive or two of the game and then back off. They just want to get the early score. They want to get the momentum, and then they'll even it out, and they'll go on a run very late in the game. I think 100%, hands down, it happens. Even the people that would deny it are not being honest and truthful. I think guys do the same with zone and with man. I think guys do the same with blitz. I think guys do the same with pass or with run. And no, I don't think there's a way to fix it. There, like at some point, and you guys are going to see this. I've already started to prep the board, if there's a way to say that, to say I am becoming more and more aware of the flaws that we have as a video game, as a community, as rules. And that is like we're taking a really flawed game and trying to curtail the gameplay as best we can to keep things fair. That will always be the guiding light, is to keep things fair, to where whether I'm a great GM, a great play caller, or a great user, all three can win. All three can go on a run. All three have an opportunity to get a championship here. Even if I'm not great at any of those, but I have a really good run, I have a really good season, things fall in place, injuries bite my division, and I get a couple wins I shouldn't have gotten, I can go on a run. We know most leagues that have no rules. There's the top 5% and there's everybody else, and we know the championship's going to go to the top 5% every single year. And so I think we do a really good job of everyone, like the real NFL, feels like they have a chance here. I remember the days when Tim was, what people thought was an easy win, and now he's one of the toughest outs in this entire league, right? Like this league prides itself on becoming fair. I also realize like the game is changing, the mechanics are changing. We got AI now. Like there's a lot of elements that have been added, and I'm constantly trying to think through, how do we make rules easy to remember, keep them fair, and play the game ultimately how the game's supposed to be played. I lost to Logan the other day, and I told Logan, and I still haven't got time to go watch, but I felt like Logan was very, very, I forget exactly what it was, but I think he was very zone heavy. I think it was like a lot of zone. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. I'm an old man now, and I got to go back and read. And I was like, I got to go back and watch the film. I could be wrong. You probably could be good. But the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, no, that's what it was. He was 8 in the box, and he was. It was like 8 in the box every play of the first half, it felt like. It may not have been that when I go get the numbers. The honest truth is, instead of me adjusting and spreading him out and going 4 wide and shotgun and doing what I needed to do, I was really rigid and very stubborn and stuck to my game plan. Ended up getting my wheels blown off because Logan was just a better coach. So my struggle as a commissioner here, and where I'm going to constantly push the board to help me think, is like at some point, we all have to be good football coaches, good play callers, ability to adjust and adjust. What I never want to do is see the same play style, the same play calls, the same playbook. Everybody's using it. Everybody's doing the same things. And whoever does that better wins. And I don't think we're there now, but that's where I think we're going. That's a long-winded answer. I'm going to open it up to you guys. What do you think?
I'll keep it a little shorter in regards to just like I couldn't talk for that long uninterrupted if I tried, if I really wanted to. So, but in regards to like the run specific numbers, I think I believe at the beginning of this cycle it was 15, and then it was dropped to 12 just due to too many people missing that mark. Maybe it was last cycle, but I know it was 15 recently. I've also seen a couple people in chat.
Pause really quick, just really, really quick. It was not because people were missing the numbers. It was the time, like the amount of time in the game didn't allow us to hit the 15.
Right. So, I mean, I think that in itself, I mean, if you play a game where there's different play styles, right? You play a guy who runs the ball and controls the clock, doesn't turn it over, like let's say D Wayne, you're going to have limited opportunities. You're probably going to be down. You're not going to be able to run as much. So that kind of adds into it. But generally speaking, I think if you're a team that's, I don't want to say not competitive, but you're not in win now mode, there's guys who have younger quarterbacks that are just trying to throw the ball as much as possible. And there's a couple guys I've seen mention that because they want to bring that quarterback over. Mm-hmm. And they want more XP, more stats, more attributes, whatever. So I think it's something where it happens. And like Nate was kind of saying with the receptions and stuff like that, I mean, people are going to find ways around things. And I mean, unless you just create like a authoritarian dictatorship where you're hovering everything. I mean, there'll be some type of leeway here and there, I guess.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Maniac.
No, I was going to say, man, we've
Y'all got the timing like of a times. Bunch of sewer rats trying to learn how to ballroom dance.
I'm on vacation, okay? No, I mean, I've been a part of the board. I've ran my own leagues. It comes down. I mean, it's real difficult. I mean, if you really, I'm trying to think of all the words I want to say because I mean, I could probably talk on this subject for 15 minutes or more, but and it just it's just one of those things where the game's evolving. It's not like what it used to be like 10 years ago when I started really playing online leagues and stuff, like the pro formations, all those things were like really like key parts of the game. Now it's all spread, pistol, 3 wide stuff, and and we've tried to keep it somewhat balanced and stuff, but like a lot of times like the one of the games I just recently played, I'd only had like 3 possessions, I think, in the first half, and it got to the to halftime, and I'd only had, I think, like 12 plays on offense or 15 plays on offense or something like that, and I think like 4 of them were runs and the others were passing because one, my offensive line sucks at run blocking. I can't run the ball to save my life right now. It seems like I'll try, but sometimes just things like that can kind of dictate, like, okay, my guys are better pass blockers than they are running. I still try to get those numbers in, but you get behind, you trying to play to your strengths that you have on your team, and you get behind, and then all of a sudden, like, I haven't run enough, and so then you're trying to get back in the game, and then also run 3 straight times to get your numbers back, and the same thing can be said about guys. I mean, if you look at it that way, guys throwing to the tight end and to the wide receiver. There was a game I just recently played that the tight end, the running back were the 1 and 2 in that game, and the 3 or 4 catches of the wide receivers were either the little shuffle pass or the RPO pass. So there wasn't really like no reading of the defense to throw it downfield, other than maybe a streak here and there that didn't connect. But those things too, that could be said. But we do our best. You don't want to make it overbearing, because then it's like, I'm not having fun. We've had those discussions before in the past where, things weren't fun because you had to keep the rule book open in front of you, because I can't do this, I can't do that, and there's got to be somewhat of a freedom to call plays. And the same thing, you're expected to be on defense, and you got to make the adjustments to make those stops. And yes, the game is flawed. If you've watched my stream any of this season, you hear me talking about how the game's flawed, but we do our best. And ultimately, have respect for each other. If you're noticing in that game that the guy's trying to run and he can't run the ball, probably just expect him, to try to get the minimum and then go on and try to at least be competitive. That's just my take on it, though.
Trey, man.
I mean, you really have to play. Do you want to be restricted completely or the bullet? That's what it comes down to, because you can say, oh, well, everything has to be 50-50 done. You have to have 50-50 run, 50-50 pass. People are going to get upset. People are going to get frustrated even more, and it's going to cause even more chaos. Or you can, deal with the bullet that we got. People will get to those 12 runs and they'll stop. And then they'll just pass all day on you. That still goes against the rules of 50%. But it's going to happen. There's going to be games where like the game against Nate. I wanted to just... I was done. Same thing happened against Colin. I wanted to run at the point. Colin threw up a pass. My defender just didn't even play it and gave up a touchdown that shouldn't have been a touchdown. I literally told Colin, like, run the clock out. I'm just running the ball because it just wasn't willing to have it play out anymore. It happens. This game can get very challenging and can demoralize you very fast. So people are just kind of trying to want to get the game over with. They're gonna want to. It was one of those things where you got to pick your choices, and when the battle is efficient to say, okay, this is a problem versus okay, this is just somebody trying.
Yep, I think that can be tough at times. All right, let's wrap it up. My last discussion question, round table. You guys just go. Whoever I feel like makes the best point throughout tonight, you're going to get your 1 minute mic drop to talk about whatever you want. And the question I present to you guys tonight is, who has been the most impactful Madden import this entire Madden cycle? So this is a player that came over from Madden 24 into Madden 25. Not worried about what they did in Madden 23. If there's any of those players, who's been the most impactful import in Madden 25 from Madden 24?
I'll jump in off rip and say Dwight Nowak. If that's how you say his name.
Nowak.
Quarterback for the Browns. I mean, every single season he's at the very top in passing yards. If you look at his stats this cycle, the only season he didn't throw for over 4,000 yards was the first season. He had 3,800. He has had a positive. First two seasons weren't great, but he's had 27 touchdowns plus each season. He does kind of throw a lot of picks, but I mean, he took him to an OMFL Bowl. He's been a top dog, consistent. I think looking at him, he's probably, in my opinion, been what I would consider to be the best overall import, especially when you consider he had him on a lower contract for part of the cycle, which helped him build that team a little bit.
That's a good one. I'm going to go with a guy that has helped revolutionize the offense of this owner here. Helped him get to a playoff that we've never seen him get into playoffs, and that's going to be the Texans wide receiver Brandon DeMarco. This dude is a defensive killer, and Brandy can probably will give thumbs up to that.
I don't know how I didn't think of that.
And he's got 98 touchdowns in this game since he's been brought over. He's had a season where he had 24 touchdowns, 22, and 22, and the season's not over with. So he's going to have, I guarantee he's going to have over 100 touchdowns with this guy in this Madden before. I mean, that's Hall of Fame worthy. And he's had over 2,200 yards receiving 3 times, almost 2,500 yards in one season. So it's just, he is a beast. He is a man among boys. So, yeah, you can't go wrong with Brandon DeMarco. He is the all-around wide receiver.
Well, since the kind two gentlemen over here want to bring 2 offensive players to the thing, I feel it's right that I bring, because I have history. This goes to the credit of Tim. Tim has taken over the Lions, 2 of my draftees over, and has made them phenomenal. That being Bruce Ross is consistently in high-end tackle, getting 10 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks, gets a couple interceptions, and, all-around havoc as an outside linebacker. Then you got Deontay Scott. Man is just a ball hawk. That man will find the ball. He's consistently getting, towards the 8 interceptions. He's had a few slips-ups in the season. Getting 60 tackles from a corner. Impressive. Getting some TFLs in the mix, even better. But also having a guy that's consistently around a season is phenomenal. Add to the fact that he has added from his cornerback position is phenomenal. I'm sure those 2 guys' names will be knocking on Mr. Nate's doorstep for Hall of Fame nomination.
Yep, I think you're 100% correct. Those are all really good ones. I would throw 2 more out there for consideration. I think if we sat here, we could probably find a lot more, but you have to give Brad White with the Seahawks some kind of achievement. I mean, I know he hasn't won in the playoffs. This guy has probably been the MVP of the regular season, hands down, for the last 2 cycles, much less this past cycle. And I think you also have to, we've seen him do it with a lot of players, but McMullen for the Dallas Cowboys has just been absolutely outstanding. I mean, the guy is Mr. Everything for the Dallas Cowboys, consistently in the top 3 in rushing yards and touchdowns in the NFC. The guy just does it all, and he's been a really, really great player there for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, time to give me away my mic drop and pick a winner here. This was a close one. This was kind of a good one to figure out exactly who I want to give it to. And though I think all of you made some really great points, I'm going to give it to the guy that fought through a little sickness here tonight. Mr. Maniac, the next 1 minute is yours, buddy.
Oh wow! I was like, man, just make sure they
I don't know what happened there. Something was not happy at all. I
think you covered it all.
Yeah, I guess. Something glitched out, but I reset it. So let's try this mic drop once more, Mr. Maniac.
I was just trying to make sure it was off mute when I started talking, and then it's all man, I am probably ready for this Madden to be over with.
Probably
as much as everybody else, and but yeah, I have struggled, especially start off strong to start this Madden cycle. Starting this Madden cycle off, and then having the struggles and stuff. But I will say I've enjoyed seeing guys that have not had success before have success, like Roger he's always the one that comes to my mind because the dude has been so faithful and struggled through everything, but yet he's having some success. So, you know what? That gives me, hearts and good feelings inside, for him. And I know there's others that have kind of had some better seasons that have struggled in the past. So, but I am so ready to get started on the new Madden and the new college football and see what they've actually, they're talking things up, kind of making you like, kind of interested, kind of hopeful, but just kind of laying back with okay, don't get too crazy about it because they've let you down before. But I am quietly excited to see what they've done in the new game. So
we struggled with the mic drop tonight. Trey was whispering to himself something. I don't know what he was saying exactly, but he was not happy with your comment. I was giving you a hard time. We got to do better with our mic drop. Maniac earned his 1 minute. We got to give it to him, guys. It has been a pleasure. Let's finish strong. You're getting a lot of CPU games. I get it. We're getting deep into the season, and for people's seasons who are over and you just don't care, like, I get it. But none of us signed up to play the CPU. Like, the tone behind you can have a CPU game drives me nuts. I didn't sign up to play the CPU. I have no interest in playing the CPU. I just don't want to waste an hour and a half of my time playing a game I don't want to play. So you signed up. You need to try to play your games as much as you can. For those of you who are fighting through time off and vacations, I appreciate you. I see you. And Maniac's right. I'm super pumped, and I don't care what people think. Don't be pumped. That's your prerogative. But I'm pumped about the new college game. I'm pumped about the new Madden. It looks spectacular. Everyone who has touched it has said it is the biggest leap in Madden that we've ever seen before. So I'm buying into the hype. It may still suck, but I'm excited about a new game that I've been playing for literally 30 years, 35 years of my life. I think the first Madden dropped when I was a wee youngin'. So I'm not an evil person for enjoying this game. And cool, if you don't enjoy it, don't enjoy it. No one's making you enjoy it, but I do. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for it to drop. A lot of games dropping this fall, this next coming spring. So a lot of fun things to jump into. Maniac's got the NHL league rocking and rolling, NHL team, I should say, not really a league that's going. We're trying to see if we can get a coach league going for the summer, though there won't be much summer by the time this league is over with. The college football season will be out. And I'm still trying to get my hands on
college football and 4 the next Madden.
The Maximum Football is out, and so if you're into that, go try that out. It's okay, it's a fun little different thing. It's not a competitor. Let's just be honest; it's not competition for Madden, but still a lot of fun. No. So a lot of things out there. Go try them out. Make sure you check out the different leagues and opportunities we have here. There's always a group of guys playing shooters. Lately, always a group of guys playing NHL. Looks like we're trying to get MLB going again. So there's tons of things for you to jump into. Guys, I love you. I appreciate these 3 guys for jumping in with me tonight. Mr. Big Hurt, we missed you tonight, but hope everything is great at home. Poor D-Wayne got called into the work again, and so he wasn't able to join us, but I can't wait till we come back with you again next weekend. I am going to try really, really hard this postseason to not play shooters, which is my reset. Like, I enjoy playing shooters with the guys. It's like my reset every night, and just call some games with Mr. Maniac or with just myself. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I promise I'll try to do that here.
Now? Sweet.
You said you were making the playoffs. I left you out because you said I'm making the playoffs. So I was going to let you go play the playoffs.
He wants to commentate his own game. That's it.
Trust me, he does do that if you go watch his streams. Guys, I love you. Take care of yourselves. Know that you matter. I can't wait to see you on the next. Until then, God bless.
Deuces.
Yeah.
Smash that like and subscribe.